Principles of Learning, Presentation Assignment, Learning is Social. Who said learning is social? And let me give you the freedom to explore with just a little guidance. It came from Dr. Hunter when he started this term's course and as he wrapped it up last week. It all sounds very similar to the work of another Canadian educator. George Siemens introduced a new learning theory known as connectivism after realizing that the way students were learning was changing. Connectivism is a learning theory that explains how internet technologies have created new opportunities for people to learn and share information across the web and amongst themselves. The basics of this theory are that the internet and technology changed learning, that learning is focused on connecting information, that connections we make help us learn more by sharing information. Just think about what we do in this class every week online. Isn't the expectation here that we share information, our findings, our opinions? These technologies include web browsers, email, wikis, discussion forums like we use in this course, social networks, and any other tool which enables the users to learn and share information with other people. According to Siemens, this new way to learn is networked and where the students are encouraged to explore on their own, and the teacher is a mediator. According to the United Nations International Telecommunication Union, nearly half of the world's population is using the internet. That means more than 3 billion people are online. There are also more than 7 billion mobile device subscriptions. Now, while the world around us becomes more connected, consumers have accelerated and increased their demands for content, including news content. At the College School of Media, where I teach journalism, though, the focus is still on traditional news production. Today's journalists cannot simply write an article for a singular medium. Newspaper journalists are expected to tweet gripping headlines and conduct video interviews, which are posted to the publication's website. The duties for broadcast journalists now include creating online content and developing a social media following, as multiple platforms are used to engage audiences. Take, for example, a recent story produced by a local radio reporter in Toronto. Along with writing and delivering his story for radio, he shot video, tweeted about this story, and also posted content to Facebook. This type of content production is the new normal in newsrooms all over the world. This reality has left journalism schools challenged to provide relevant training. As an instructor and a working journalist, a clear gap exists between the employability skills journalism students require and the training that they are receiving in the studio classroom. According to multiple listings for employment opportunities in media, the demand is to produce content on multiple platforms. Increasingly, reporters need to know how to photograph, edit, create video, and create graphics. With the introduction of text alerts, journalists need to communicate the news in the shortest, most effective way possible. To help students master these skills and transition from theory to practice in the modern-day newsroom, teachers themselves must be knowledgeable in digital literacy and technology. Digital literacy is defined as the ability to find, evaluate, share, and create content using the internet. But it's much more than that. Digital literacy skills, also referred to as 21st century learning skills, have permeated the classroom, becoming requirements for both teachers and students. Teacher engagement and continuous learning is vital, especially when technology is always changing. But overcoming the reluctance or barriers teachers face must be addressed before they can embrace technology and include it in their practice. This may be considered one of the disadvantages of connectivism. Without providing professional learning to teachers of journalism, their practice will not change, and students themselves will be left at a disadvantage. As our world continues to become more interconnected, it is necessary that our educational pedagogy reflects this digital change. Our students must understand that smartphones are the mode of news gathering, and that our role as guides in the classroom are to preserve the principles of solid journalism while they acquire and develop the ability to demonstrate multimedia journalism incorporating text, audio, video, stills, and graphic components. Demonstrating new tools and platforms using social media sites, including Facebook Live to cover a news conference, or learning to tell a news story on Twitter using 280 characters or less, is often effective in encouraging students to experiment on their own. Or, for example, instead of a lecture about how to produce a podcast using Google Hangouts, an interview via Skype or Facebook Live Instructors can record and share these content creating platforms for students to view. In developing courses, we should be asking what belongs here and what does not. As course designers, we should ask, how do we do our courses differently? These are my questions as I pursue my vision of expanding the study of journalism to include technology rather than ignoring it. The ability for students to use mobile technology journalistically must be a key priority for the school's journalism program to remain relevant and popular amongst aspiring news producers.